What's up, everybody? I guess I give everybody some time to get in here if they want. What's up? No lid. I like going live. Can't wait till I get a better setting to go live in. Usually, I don't have. uh, Hold on. All right. Usually, I have like the ceiling fan light on, but I got my dome light up right now, trying to illuminate myself a little better than usual. So I go live and I test out different things. Dang, somebody's like jamming right behind the window. Can't wait till I get a better setting to go live in. But what's going on? I don't have any coffee. Normally have some coffee. I don't have any coffee right now. I'm actually eating something. I can't remember what it's called, but I'm eating it with sour cream. So right now I went live just to talk about random stuff. Let's see what you all think of the video I did on reflecting on being black. But also I was going to talk about this new EOS web cam utility for Canon cameras. Um, they put out a list of cameras that it's compatible with, but I tried it with this one. I don't know if you can see. Let me see if it focuses. Yeah. So I tried it with this camera, which is equivalent to the Canon Rebel T5, but this is the international version, which is called the 1200D, and it worked fine. Right now I'm using the Canon 90D, so I mean it's able to be used with other cameras. Just in case anybody's here wondering how I'm doing my live stream, Yeah, it works very well with the Canon 90D um, on Windows and Mac. But like the T5, you can probably get one of those for really, really cheap. And then if you, as long as you have the software like OBS or yeah, or any other live streaming software, like preferably a free one like OBS. If you know how to play with the settings to get it to work. I really haven't ever used OBS until now because now, I'm starting live stream now, but it's pretty easy to figure out. But they have this, the first they had the software on Windows, the EOS webcam utility that you got to download so it can pick your camera up as a webcam. And then you download OBS and set it up, and you don't have to have any other attachments. You just have the camera and the software. You're good to go. And it's not that difficult, which is great because it used to be really difficult to live stream unless you had a Sony camera or something like that. But yeah, apparently it works with other cameras that aren't that are on a list of definitely approved cameras. But now we got that part out the way. I'm using the Fine K780 microphone for my audio. Hopefully my audio sounds good. Make sure this is plugged in. I think it's plugged in. But other than that, how you fine folks doing today? Man, I am kind of thirsty. I might get some coffee in a minute. I don't know who I was watching, but whoever's watching, I'm thinking of doing another video, another kind of a short story. That one I did the other day. I had so much more to say, but I didn't say it. I wanted to do it totally different, but I had to. I felt inspired to do it, and I wanted to go ahead and get it out. So I kind of used filler and other things to build the story. And then one of the things that really helped me sell the story that got me inspired was current events, but also remembering Star Trek, a certain episode of Star Trek, because I really like Star Trek. And I thought about it. I was like, you know what? That episode really spoke to me later on in my life, and it's really playing into right now. So I use that a lot. Of course, I can't monetize that video because of the Star Trek clips, which sucks. And that's why I wanted to do it differently. I didn't want to just, I wanted to use like some screenshots and then put some slight bit of audio here and there with the screenshots of Star Trek instead of actual audio video clips. But I went with that instead, and of course, demonetized. A shotgun mic with your phone. Yeah. Um, honestly, I don't think I've never used a shotgun mic. I've been wanting to. I keep reaching out to these companies because Fine hooked me up with these mics to review, and all the mics I've reviewed from them are pretty good, especially this one. It's called the K780A. I'll type it in the thing. Oh, thanks. Appreciate that being your favorite video. I still, when I look at it, I'm like, ooh, I like it, but I wish so many things I wish I could have done differently with that video to bring more impact. But um, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, let me see. I don't know. I think hopefully the audio is going through here. Let me check. Because it could be going through the computer. I'm gonna tap it. You're probably gonna hear like. Okay, yeah, it is going through here. I had to double check. Because if it was going through the computer, you would hear the AC and every other noise very well, which I'm trying my best to keep down the ambient noise. And with this mic, it helps a lot with that. It also kind of overly deepens my voice. Now, this mic, in January, February, and I think at the beginning of March, this mic went from $54 and then it went down to $49. But now this mic is $79. I just looked at it the other day. Like the link that I have for people to go to buy it is not available anymore. So I have to like set up the link for the Amazon thing for the new one because they completely removed it from the 84 the not the 84 but the $54 price and relisted it for $79. I guess it's such a good mic that they raised the price $25. So yeah, it's actually pretty good. Um, but I'm just super glad I have it without having to spend the $80. I probably would have spent 50. My sister bought it as well. She bought it at the $54 price. If I were to tell her right now, she'd probably be like, "Whoa!" She'd probably be glad she got it. I don't know if they're gonna try to raise it again or not. Maybe they're selling like hotcakes for the reason they raise the price. That's the only reason most companies raise the price that significantly if it becomes a really hot item and popular. And once the supply and demand happens, then they start raising prices to slow down the demand. Even though they want that demand, but they raise the price so that they can keep up with the orders. Because then, if the price goes up, people stop buying it so fast, and then they can make them. But then if people really completely slow down too much, then they drop the price again. That's kind of how a lot of that stuff works. So, um, but I really want to do some collaborations. Um, I've been talking to I Make Beats on some collabs. It's just the way things have been going lately. It's kind of hard for me to do some of the things I've been trying to do, but I still want to reach out to a lot of people, especially people in the black community, because we really have the opportunity to let our voices shine right now. And if we could get some collabs going and some stuff talked about, maybe speak our minds about a few things, or just do something creative together where a lot of black people together or showing how creative they can be, that'd be great. Because sometimes we get stuck in this feeling of we're not good enough because the world has always tried to ping us as you know not mattering as much as other people, and that's why things are the way they are right now. Black Lives Matter, you know. So one of the things about this Black Lives Matter movement at first, when it started years ago, I mean, it's been around forever, but like the hashtag Black Lives Matter, I was kind of like, oh man, I was one of those people like, things are fine. I mean, I've dealt with a lot of racism, and I, at the moment, I was like, we don't need to push an issue right now. And then I thought, I got mad at myself almost immediately, and I was like, you know what? Why am I thinking like that? We do need to push the issue because when I go to work and I get treated a certain type of way by certain individuals at work, or I get called the N word, and I'm sitting here going, well, we need to keep it. We need to chill out, when they're killing us in the streets in broad daylight on film, and I had the audacity to think to myself, we just need to chill, not draw attention to ourselves because I don't like a lot of attention, and I was really upset with myself just for thinking that in that moment. And the thing is, we need to draw a lot of attention. We need to make a lot of noise, and we need to, you know, all stand together. Black, brown, white, Hispanic, Asian, Arab, all of us. We need to be one human race. And we all need to matter. And I heard someone say, "Black lives don't matter until." Wait, not that. Wait. I got it wrong. all lives don't matter until Black Lives Matter. And I was like, ooh, it's kind of harsh. But I read into it wrong because I was thinking like all lives do matter. I mean, we're talking about Black Lives Matter, but you can't say all lives don't matter. But then I realized what was being said. And I was like, oh, okay, all lives can't really matter unless you include Black lives, and that's what that meant. So all lives don't matter until Black lives matter. If Black lives don't matter, then you're not really saying that all lives matter. And if you're someone that wants to just constantly throw out all lives matter, yes, we know that. That's the thing about it. We know that all lives matter. We're just reminding everyone else that Black Lives Matter too. And that's what the hashtag is all about. That's what the movement is all about. Letting everybody know that we aren't just, whatever to be stomped on. We matter. Black Lives Matter. It's not saying we're above anybody else or better than anybody else. We're letting everybody know that our lives matter where people think they don't. And some people don't understand that. They're thinking that it's something that some kind of proud moment, like we're trying to be better than everybody. Our lives matter more than everybody else's. No, that's not the case. And the people who misunderstand that, I feel sorry for them because really it's all about trying to show how much we matter as much as everybody else. um, so when I posted that video, one thing I don't ever do is I usually post it to Facebook and all my pages and stuff, and then I tag one person, like my sister, or I don't tag anybody at all. I just send it to people through Messenger or something. But this time I posted it and I tagged maybe 100 people, and I waited to see who's going to watch it, who's going to click on it, what my audience retention was going to be. I just wanted to see who was going to really appreciate it and watch it for what it was. And yeah, all lives matter. But to who is the question? Yeah, all lives do matter. Um, every single life. Yeah. To everybody, all lives should matter to everybody, and that's why Black lives need to be included in that. But yeah, when I posted this video, I tagged a lot of people, and then at least 3 of the people that I tagged in my video, later I saw on their page something in regards to the Black Lives Matter movement in like country. I don't know how to put it. They were kind of like saying all lives matter, not just Black lives. I was like, all right, you know, I respect your opinion on how you feel, but at the same time, that's the whole point of it. That's not the point of Black Lives Matter, for you to, you know, belittle everybody for saying it because you think that it's only meant to be something that is shouted in reference to being better than somebody else, and it's not. And so when I hear it, I get frustrated. I go, these people, they're not getting it. They're not getting the whole point of this. But because I think I look at the hashtag All Lives Matter too, and I think, yeah, this, I agree with it. Everybody matters. But if you, I don't know. I don't even know how to. I barely know how to explain myself on that one. But Black Lives Matter is very important. And yeah, man, is anybody else there? No lid showing that continuous support. You the only one there. You be throwing out some pretty good videos yourself over there too. I think the last one was was like a few days ago. It's pretty good too. So, last time I was on here for an hour and 15 minutes. What I realized about going live and being on here longer is that more people show up after a while. If I had a bigger following, I'm pretty sure I'd probably get a lot of people that would show up at the beginning. But um, I'm still a small YouTuber, so oh, you're welcome, definitely. um, I wanted to stay on here for a lot longer today, but I probably won't. But I wanted to share another story because this is one of the stories I didn't share on there. The other two I share a lot because they were a little bit more impactful and they were a lot more happened behind it. So those two I've brought up throughout the years to people when I talk to people about things I've gone through. But there was one time I actually wrote it down so I wouldn't forget. No, I don't need to. I mean, I know the story, so it happened. I don't need to read it. Um, I was walking the streets. I was skipping school, which was wrong to begin with. But I was walking the streets, Arlington, Texas, just roaming around. I think I was about 16, 17 years old, maybe. I had a cell phone. If you can believe it, I had a cell phone. It was a prepaid cell phone. It was Sprint. And no, to make this story short, I started getting followed by a police officer in the car, just kind of tailing me down the sidewalk. And then, I mean, I didn't think no big deal. I was just walking around, And I was about to pass the police station off of New York and Pioneer. And the police cars were coming out of the parking lot of the police station. And, I stopped at the curb so they could come out, but they stopped and kind of angled themselves to block me. And I thought, wait, hold on. And the one behind me that had been kind of tailing me for a while, like inconspicuously, he pulls up real fast, and another one comes from the front, pulls up. They all kind of surround me and corner me. And I realized what was happening. I was like, whoa, they're coming at me. I thought these people were just like, I just thought it was odd that a bunch of police officers were roaming around, but they were coming towards me. I don't know if somebody reported me or I looked suspicious walking down the street or what. But three cops got out of the car, out of different cars, and one actually approached me, started asking me questions, asked me for ID, asked me what I was walking around for, and when I went to reach for my ID, it was like, whoa, 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 whoa. I mean, the whole time they're talking to me, they're holding that hip, which means they're holding their gun. I'm just like, whoa, I'm getting a little terrified. And literally no other cars came around at that moment because I thought I need some witnesses because no one's going to realize what's going on here once they actually see. But of course, no one was around at the time. It's broad daylight, and of course, no one around, which was weird. But sure enough, another officer walks up to me. He asked me, "Can he put his hand into the pocket to pull my wallet out?" Because they didn't want me to put my hands in my pocket. I said, "Yes, sure." He kind of lifts my shirt up, goes to reach in my pocket, and he takes the phone out of my pocket and he looks at it. And he patting me down and making sure I don't got nothing else. He pulls my wallet out, checks it, sees my student ID, puts it back in my wallet, puts it back in my pocket, hooks my phone back on my pants, and then he radios over. He turns his head and radios over, and then after he radios, two of the police cars just take off. Like, oh, no big deal. That was the moment I realized why I was being pursued. Because the phone was black. And it was just dangling outside of you could see it below my shirt, just kind of dangling and swinging. Because I had one of those little swivel clips on that you can, back in the day, you just clip it on and swivel. And I just had it, and it was just dangling as I was walking. Somebody probably saw me walking, because I had khaki pants on. They saw this little black thing hanging. Probably thought I had a gun. That could have went a lot worse. But the fact that me walking down the street, I didn't look like a thug. I wasn't wearing like gangster. I just had khaki pants on and a jacket. I didn't look like I was up to nothing. I was just walking. Somebody looked at me and thought I was up to something and that I had a gun on me. Instead of, maybe one police officer coming and trying to figure out what's going on, they sent a whole fleet after me. And after they realized what it was, they just blew it off and left. One police officer stayed and talked to me for a minute, and then he let me go and told me I need to get back to school. It. Here's the thing. I've been through a lot more than that. The two stories I shared in that video was just the tip of the iceberg. You got your 5% of what you really share with everybody, and then that other 95 is down here below. That story that I just shared just now is part of that 95. Some of those moments where it's just like I never know which way to turn, and I knew to keep my hands like. When I went to go reach, I was just like going down like this, and they didn't want me to. I just kept my hands up, let him dig in my pockets. It was like, I shouldn't be scared like that. As a teenager, I wasn't even an adult yet, but that's what happened. Regardless of what they thought, the extreme nature of it, and the fact I was cooperating from point break. Like I immediately was like, yes, sir. I was polite. I wasn't talking all thuggish. I wasn't yelling at them. Wasn't acting crazy. People say, well, if you just cooperate, sometimes cooperating doesn't get you very far. If they're angry and hate you, they're still gonna come at you with this hateful attitude, regardless of how you. And then sometimes they get even more upset because you are being respectful and you're trying to make sure they don't do you a certain way, and then they hate that, and then they treat you that way anyways because they want you to act a certain way so that they can do stuff to you. So sometimes it doesn't even matter. But I mean, there's many more times where it's been very clear to me that I was in the wrong place and I needed to leave. Like this it's not the place I need to be in right now, because it wasn't a bad element, but it was a bad element for me. And I would think to myself, if my skin wasn't brown, I'd probably be all right now. But I realize that I'm not. And instead of sticking around somewhere where people can slowly come find me and be like, hey, what are you doing here? What are you in this neighborhood for? I'd just go ahead and leave. Parties, I didn't like social gatherings because I didn't want to be that one person that they set up for something. So, yeah. A lot of this has been bothering me to my core so badly that I can't think straight. I'm starting to remember things that I forgot about that I've been through. And I think I blocked a lot of it out because it was traumatic. And nowhere near as bad as, dying because of police brutality. But, I've been lied on by police, been lied on by other people, just been treated by black police officers, treated bad by black police officers. It's like some of them get in there and they're like, they've joined the squad, they're part of the team now, they're one of them. So they're harder on other black people than the white cops are, because they're trying to prove themselves somehow. And man, it just baffles me. I got written 4 tickets by a black police officer. I hadn't even pulled out my driveway. I got barely down the little alleyway. I got 4 tickets by a bike cop. I went ahead and drove to my destination. I got to the destination. A white police officer pulled me over. He gave me 1 ticket. He was. This is why I don't think all cops aren't bad. It's just a few of them. He was more generous to me than the black police officer. The black police officer added another ticket for something I didn't even know about that was going on with my car, with some situation, and he didn't have to go in on me like that. But the white officer just had to talk with me, gave me a ticket, and told me I need to go home and get things straight on my car so I won't keep getting tickets. Because the only thing that's going to happen is I'm going to get tickets and it's going to cause me some suffering. He's not going to set me back like that, but So he's gonna give me one because he had to give me something. He can't just pull me over and see everything that's wrong and not do anything about it. So he just gave me the one ticket. Black officer didn't care, you know. So it's not. It's even though in this situation with George Floyd and all these other people, you know, it's clearly it is about race. It was an officer that hated him because he was black and was going to punish him to the fullest extent that he could think feasible, and because he hated the color of his skin. In my case, it's been like that maybe 50% of the time, and then other times it was justified. You know, I got a ticket for no insurance. Okay, justified. But did I get treated bad in the moment? No. Another time I got a ticket for no insurance, I got treated like crap. I was obeying, abiding by the guy. Actually, I had insurance. I just didn't have my card on me. I was like, look, I got insurance. Here's my policy number. I got it written down over here. I don't have a card on me. Got treated like crap. Got told all kinds of stuff. Told I need to be more responsible. I was like, dude, I'm not acting a fool with you. I'm yes sir, no sir. And they even got me out the car. And at that time they didn't tow cars here for no insurance. They just wrote you tickets. And he ran me for priors and all kinds of stuff. Searched my car and let me go. And that wasn't the first time I ever had my car searched. And of course, I don't have nothing in it. My car was super clean. And he's like, "Oh, you can clean your car really good. Did you have something in here before? Make sure you got it clean." Whoa, no. I just keep my car clean. You know, it was so many different things. But we all need to stand united together to fight against profiling and racism and prejudice and everything. But man, I didn't mean to get going all that long on that topic. I was actually really wanting to talk about other random stuff. But that's the biggest topic right now, and then it's kind of hard not to talk about it. Anybody else? Anybody else there? Because it's just me and you, no lids. Are you still there? You still there? I don't know if you're still there. Let me see if I can pull myself up on the phone so I can. Sorry, I'm taking a notification break and looking at my notifications, and I'm trying to pull up my live stream on here. I actually really enjoy going live with that. Let me see if I can pull it up. I can't tell who's watching. Wish people would comment and say they're here. Oh, I see you. I see you still there. It says 3 are watching. I think there's better setups that cost money, where it gives you so many stats and all this information. I think going live on Facebook is a lot better, or live on Instagram, but I'm trying to build a YouTube channel. So going live on YouTube. If I go live on Facebook, like 2 people watch. I got like 200 some odd friends and 2 people will watch. Like, come on. Really? Come on, people. And Instagram is just, for me, I mean, if I can build my Instagram account, it'd be wonderful. Yo, Tammy. Actually thinking about getting off here Well, how many long? I've only been on here for 35 minutes. Let me see. Maybe 5 more minutes. Just sit here, chat with you guys, see how your days are going. Yes, going live is pretty tough. I think I've got it down pretty good. I've got it down pretty good because at first it was figuring out my audio, and then it was like what system to use, and now between the Windows and the Mac, Windows was the first to get the software to do the live with through Canon without having the Elgato Cam Link recorder or whatever. But now Mac has it or Apple has it, so it's so much better to go on an Apple computer unless you build a gaming system and have this nice rig. And even the lowest grade of Apple computer, like Apple MacBook Air or something like that, I mean, just the smooth communication relationship between devices in a Mac is so much more beautiful. Um, but yeah. Yeah, I'm using the Canon program because, well, yeah, the beta, the EOS utility beta. I actually was going to use it with the T5 1200D, but there's no autofocus on it, and I didn't want to. I'm like, I can't reach the camera from here. Like, I can put my hand up there, but I can't reach it. And I was like, until I get a wider lens, I don't want to use it because I want to need to be able to like focus on myself before I stream because it doesn't have autofocus. So I have to use the Canon 90D, um, which isn't my camera. I only have it temporarily, but the 1200D is mine. So, but I am using the Canon program, the Canon um, thing. I keep forgetting it. Webcam utility beta, which is funny because they released the beta version for Mac OS on my birthday on 5/27/20. I was like, because I was like, I wish they released it for Mac OS because I want to try it for that. As soon as they released it, I tried all day for 2 days to get it to work, and it didn't work. Yeah. Oh yeah, pulling focus. Well, the Canon 90 autofocus. Like if I go close, I pull back. Yeah. So autofocus and everything works with the Canon 90D. Yeah, the Elgatos. Yeah, it's crazy. Oh, thanks. Going live is beneficial. The last time I went live, I gained like 5 hours of what is it? Like watch time. I was blown. I was like 5 hours from just going live for an hour and 15 minutes. And I thought about it. That's like because multiple people have watched during that time, and so I built it up. So I was like, man, going live is dope. I just wish I had at least 500 subscribers because then more people would probably watch at once, and I'd hit that 4,000 mark really quick. Or even the amount of people I have on that subscribed now, if they watched, um, it would boost it up pretty fast again. My birthday. You know what? I'm working on a video about my birthday. um, I meant to edit it and post it, but then things kind of went crazy this past week, and I ended up doing a whole totally different video. My birthday was good. It was okay. I really didn't do anything for my birthday, and I kind of reflected on some things and kind of how I want my future to be and stuff like that. And I did just a little bit of basic stuff that I enjoyed that day, and then I was gonna make a video about how my birthday was and how basic it was. But the video was gonna be kind of like how I did the reflecting on being black video, but without all of the talking about what I talked about in that video. It was gonna be a different type of discussion, but it was gonna be in that format, like a narration. But yeah, it was okay. My birthday was okay. No, you can't do live from your phone. Wait, look. Oh yeah, dual pixel autofocus. Oh yeah. No, you can't do live from your phone. Well, you can, but you have to have a lot more subscribers or something. Like I tried it, the option is there, and when I go to do it, it says I don't have enough subscribers, or I don't have the credentials to be able to do that yet, or something like that. It was, I'll look into it. I have to read up on it or something. Um, Now the tutorials, yes, I tried to get into tutorials, but I think I did like a few of them, and then like I just did one, not necessarily a tutorial, but it's kind of showing you how to use Filmic Pro with um, the Polar Pro Light Chaser for your iPhone, and I kind of go in there and I show it. I do my little showing of the device, and then I show how I'm using Filmic Pro with it, and adjusting the exposure and stuff like that. I mean, you kind of say it's a tutorial, but a lot of the videos I go and I kind of show like how I'm using stuff. I try to, anyways. I don't think I do very well at it, but that one I think I did pretty good. It was really hard to sync up those video clips with the screen recordings. I mean, I spent a lot of time on doing that. That was the hardest part because I video screen recorded, and I synced it up to when I would hit the record button with that. So I synced it up with the audio, but I overlaid the screen recording on top of it, and that's how I was able to talk through the screen recording. And then I would click off to just be me, and you went to the screen recording, you'd actually see the actual video. So it was a little difficult to do the editing, but I want to do more videos where you know that are difficult but informative. Um, but yeah, I thought about doing tutorials on stuff that I know or things I figured out without having to watch another tutorial of my own. Or I'm like, oh man, this is awesome. Um, but a lot of times I think I figure out the hard way to do stuff, and then sometimes I do figure out easy ways. Like I love doing one of the things I do love doing is syncing up audio. When I figured out how to do that, it was man. When I figured out how to do multicam, I think I did one video where I did multicam. I had a little tiny point and shoot camera, and then I had a phone, and then I had my Canon 80D because I used to have the Canon 80D until I got a video about that as well. But I used to have a Canon 80D, and I used all these cameras and did different angles, and I synced up the audio, and I just kept clipping through each view. I kind of messed up because I meant to click at the time where I was looking at the camera at that point, and then when I turned my head to switch it back, but I had it all out of sync a little bit, but the audio was perfect. So, and then I also had a GoPro angle. Yeah, I had a GoPro that had an angle, but yeah, I was thinking about doing it because it is very difficult to get this thing to work on the Mac because it's still in beta, and since they released it, I couldn't. All these other programs would pick it up very easy, like Ecamm Live, but that's a paid. You got to pay $12 a month to use that one. But I was using the tutorial, not tutorial, trial, and it picked it up, and but I didn't want that little watermark at the bottom, so I didn't go. I went live for like 2 minutes one day just to see if it was going to work, and I kept thinking to myself, I don't want this watermark at the bottom of the screen. I don't want to pay $12 just to use this. At least not right now, anyways. I mean, it has some really good features. I like Ecamm Live, but Ecamm Live is only available on the Mac. But OBS is good. I immediately was able to use it with OBS on the PC, but it was difficult trying to figure out how to get to work on the Mac. So I figured it out. I adjusted some settings. You can't go and use presets. You can't just automatically use presets. You got to go try to modify some stuff, like go and modify the resolution, then go to Rec 709 and 30 frames a second, stuff like that. And then like after it catches the settings somehow after doing that, you can go back and hit presets and it works fine. Just the weirdest thing. But you also got to make sure you have a correct cable attached, like a correct data cable signal attached, because it won't even recognize if you don't have the proper cable attached. Because like you can have one like my Canon 90 use micro USB and to USB A, and I have a cable that I got that's a USB C to micro USB because MacBook has USB C plugs. Doesn't recognize it. And then I had another one that's micro USB A, so I used an adapter to put the USB C on. Didn't recognize that one, but I took this other cable from a phone, from a very old phone, and it works fine. Cable is all frayed and messed up, but it's the only one that works. So I need to get a better cable that's an actual physical data cable. And this one said it worked, but apparently I guess it didn't. But Venus, Venus, Venus. Um, even do a tutorial on the camera. Yeah. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Yeah. So yeah, I probably will do a tutorial on that because first I'm gonna do the tutorial on. I was gonna do a tutorial on how to set it up um, through screen share on OBS because there was a way to do that without having to have the Elgato, where you could just record the screen of your EOS utility, and then it came out with this webcam utility. I was like, oh crap! No, if I do that'd be kind of pointless to do that one if they have this available because everybody's gonna be like, why use that if I got this, you know? So now that I got it figured out on both PC and Mac, I'm going to do a I am going to do a tutorial on how to do it. I've done a lot of screen recording of different things and how to get to different points already for the PC, but then I'm also have some for the Mac, and I'm gonna just incorporate it all into one video because it is kind of a learning curve to get it going because it is beta. Um, we are not on lockdown right now. We were, but on the 18th of May they kind of started opening things back up, which I think is stupid, honestly, because I mean they're not 100% open. They just kind of like told everybody, yeah, you can start doing stuff now. And the good thing about it was the government offices because I needed to get my registration done and I couldn't for like 2 months, and I was like mad about it because like right when I wanted to do it, everything closed, and I was like, oh, I don't want to ride around with paper tags for months because well, the police decided to pull me over just because I had paper tags, even though the governor said, oh, you got 60 more days, you're good. No, I'm like, no, I want legit plates. Sorry, I just need my stuff to be legit. I don't need to be bothered for any extra reasons. Um, but no, we're not on lockdown. We were. Um, Arkansas was on lock. No, Arkansas never went on lockdown either. That's where I was at first, but I'm in Arlington, Texas right now. Um, but Dallas, Dallas has a curfew right now because of all the protesting. That I mean, not lockdown, but they have a curfew. But they are kind of more closed down than where I'm at because um, apparently they have a lot more cases there, so a lot of stuff isn't as open as everywhere else. Um, but yeah, no, I'm kind of a 50-50 on the lockdown situation though because I'm glad they opened, but I'm also glad I also hate that they opened because they didn't open 100%. They just kind of letting everybody go back to normal and do whatever, and it's kind of like if they were gonna do this anyways, why did they lock down to begin with? Why didn't they just limit how what people could do for like okay, we're gonna have to limit how people's exposure to each other, so we're gonna have to reduce occupancy and close down inside of restaurants, but you can still go out and do stuff. Because the way Arkansas did, they just kind of like closed schools, and you can still go do everything else, like but you couldn't go inside of restaurants and gather, couldn't have large gatherings. So they did the first steps that they started, and they didn't do anything else, and which really made it hard because some businesses were shutting down and people were out of work, but then they didn't have any protection for anybody, you know, rent and paying their bills. They didn't follow through that far into it. So a lot of people lost their homes and places to live. and lost their jobs on top of it. So a lot of people are homeless now up there. Which is why I'm down here, because I don't have any money. Because I have a job, but I'm not making any money right now. So I'm here because I'm not making any money. Um, but that's why. I mean, the the virus didn't spread. Apparently, it's bad up there. But what was I gonna say? Um, that's what kind of made me partial on it. Like, if they were gonna like just open everything back up, like a month and a half later, to the full extent, and the way everything kind of went, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, there's got to be a better pattern and better way of handling all this whole situation if you're gonna handle it at all. Either just not go so far into like screwing everybody's life up for a good purpose, and then just switching it back over when everything doesn't quite seem like it's completely straight yet. It just, I don't know. The tactics behind this whole situation are just a little off to me. Yeah, out here in Texas, yeah, they can't do it either in Texas. Like right now, they're like you can't get rent from anybody, you can't evict anybody. In Arkansas, you can. Everybody's getting evicted out there right now. Everybody who can't afford to pay the rent, no jobs, they don't care. They're not helping you out. If they're a decent landlord, they're gonna help you out. They're gonna try to work with you. But most of the people up there, Arkansas, the state of Arkansas, is a money-hungry state. The capital of Walmart, Bentonville, is in up there, and literally that place is run by corporations. And then the other companies that weren't originally there, there's only third-party versions of it. Like, you don't have corporate AT&T or corporate Verizon or corporate T-Mobile or certain companies that are just like AT&T had to fight really hard to get service out there because another company was trying to monopolize on it. Like, there's a lot of shady stuff that happens out there as far as like companies and stuff. So Walmart's everywhere, everywhere. I'm tired of seeing Walmart, honestly. But yeah, 2 grand a month and suspend bills. Boy, can you imagine how great that would be? Some people would be irresponsible, but I think a lot of people would do the responsible thing with that 2 grand. And some people would like, they're not paying anything. They'd probably make sure they got everything that is does necessarily need to be paid. They'd make sure that's paid. They make sure they have food, and they would save the rest. And they would stay in their homes. And then whenever it's all over, whatever they got saved, they say, okay, you need to pay rent. Um, but then more than likely there's going to be some massive discount on the rent because like who's going to have like especially if your rent's $1,500 a month or 2,000 or 25 depending on where you live. Um, who's going to have like 10 months later? Who's going to have $15,000 to pay? Nobody. They're going to be like, I don't have. You might as well. Then everybody's going to have all these owed money, so they're going to have to work out something too on that. Um, but giving everybody $2,000 a month, and then also covering everybody's rent at the same time, that would be great. That would help out the people of the United States very greatly. Um, other countries seem to be doing very well with that kind of system. They've had already put a system in place to cover their people. I don't see what's taking so long for us to get something in place here. It's crazy. Yeah, yeah. Oh, stretch. Oh. Yeah, rich people get a lot of money. The way the system works in America is just, if you had the opportunity to get a chunk of change that's significant, that money, if you play your cards right, you can become one of the rich people. But if you don't, you can stay poor, and you're never going to be above a certain level, ever. You might have things, you might say you accomplished certain small feats, but you never get quite high enough. And then every now and then that opportunity comes again where you get a chunk of change that if you do right with it, if you do the right thing with that lump, you can propel yourself. And some people, and sometimes it's a game of chance, especially when you're doing investing, and you can propel yourself. But it's just a small amount of people who ever get that opportunity. Yeah, politicians are. Yep. That's why somebody was trying to ask me about the president. Yeah, last time, and I was like, nope, not talking to. You know what? I'm not talking about none of those people. I'm like, because politicians, I think every political venture is it's just orchestrated. So having a discussion about who I like as a politician is like defeating the purpose because I feel like all of them have something wrong with them. And see people try to single out different ones, and it's like every one of them is bad. If you're on a small level, you're not. I don't think you're necessarily bad like a mayor, but mayors can be bad. Governors can be bad. Um, Governors can make bad decisions, but at a smaller level, you're not. You haven't quite got to a point of completely awful, but you're tiptoeing or ice skating around bad right now. So at least that's how I see it. So yeah, yeah, he definitely would be. I mean, I've always heard he stole his family's money and then kept it for himself. I don't know the story behind it, but that's what I hear. But some people saying, yeah, he was smart enough to steal the money and keep it. It's like, do you hear yourself talking? Like, yeah, it's crazy. Um, by any chance, do any of y'all use a Chemex to make coffee? Because, yeah, I heard that too. He lost it. He's been bankrupt a couple times. I don't know. But I'm thinking about doing a video. I have an old video from a while back where I used a Chemex to make coffee, and I was wondering if anybody else uses a Chemex, because I was gonna use a Chemex. Do a video. I was gonna try to make it similar to my whiskey video, but make Chemex coffee. Because I have almost. I think the only thing I don't have is an Aeropress. I have a. Um, I have a French press, espresso, regular drip, Chemex, and a Keurig. Well, it's not my Keurig, it's my mom's, but all the other ones are mine. Yeah, brought my coffee stuff. I've been trying to teach myself how to do the espressos and do latte art. I was trying a while back and I didn't quite finish trying because it just seemed so hard. But then I realized everything I've ever tried in my life seemed extremely hard at first. So why give up? So I'm gonna start back trying again. Probably film myself trying to do the art every day until I get it right. Yeah. I don't know. Like I like doing that. It feels like I'm doing something when I'm like I got that Chemex and I'm putting that filter in and got that gooseneck kettle and I'm just running that water through, grinding my beans, going through the whole process. After I'm done, especially if I got some coffee that um, I've been looking forward to drinking and grind those beans up the exact way I want them to be ground and get that flavor. Something about that process. I mean, there's times where I'm just like, I just need coffee, and I go over there, pop it in there. But like some of the K cups, so hard to find really delicious K cups, for me, anyways, because it just I don't know. Yeah, it's probably why I'm fat because I've been drinking espresso. I gained a lot of weight. No, my weight gain recently is because I had to take steroids for my eyes when I lost my vision. So, all right. Thanks for stopping in. No lid creations. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I don't make espressos all the time though. Oh, that's a lot of coffee. That's a lot of caffeine. Oof. I can feel it too. If I don't eat nothing or drink no water first, I drink a straight espresso. Oof, man, it's not so bad with the Chemex. It is still strong with the Chemex, but it's not as bad as the espresso. But the Keurig, it's like I drink it and I be like yawning. I'm like, I didn't get enough caffeine. Oh, when I lost my sight. Oh yeah, yeah. It wasn't like completely gone. It was like really. It's like, how can I explain it? Um, it's like like I had this vignette. Like if you put a vignette around something like footage, like a picture or like a video footage, and then you also put it slightly out of focus, and that's how both of my eyes were. But then, like it was a bad editing job on top of it because like this whole left portion of my eye I couldn't see in my peripheral, and so like it was like this corner was just gone, no vision there, and like I thought it was this eye, but it was both eyes. People say, "Oh, they always think it's their left eye because of where it's at," but it was actually both my eyes where I couldn't see in this hemisphere this way, and then it was like I was looking through like something like this, and then it was all blurry. If I turned my head slightly and angled it, I could see a portion. It almost was like when you talk about cameras, like it was like a very shallow depth of field, and but I could see through it. So like I would literally, the only thing I did was watch. I caught up on um, The Walking Dead during the time because, and I would sit there like this with my phone at an angle up high, and I would just sit there and watch. My eyes would keep moving like this because I had to look at all. I kept looking at all the screen because I can only see part of the screen at a time. Oh, it was horrible. I cried. I mean, I cried. It was horrible. But that steroids brought my sight back. Um, I have MS, so it was a optic neuritis. It's one of the things that happen to people when they have MS, and I mean, I was diagnosed earlier that year in 2019, and I didn't really get to do anything about it. Um, but yeah, but one of the things that really made it worse though was they had to do a spinal tap on me, um, and after they did the spinal tap, my back hasn't been the same since. So I think it exacerbated, or what they call exacerbated, my symptoms and made them worse because I was already having trouble standing straight, and it made it to where like when I walk, um, I started to get dizzy and lightheaded, and my back hurts so bad. It's like everybody's like, you need to get in that wheelchair thingy that you can drive around the store, and I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that because when I sit in there and there's so many people in the store, I run in people stand in front of me, and I'm start panicking because I just want to move. And then what if it dies? I'll be in the same boat. And I had to get up and walk anyway, so I just walk. But I mean, I can't completely not walk. I just have a hard time walking very well for long periods of time. Like you can see me walking and be like, oh, he walks fine. Yeah, that 5 minute walk I did, that's about as much as I can do without feeling agony. After about 5 minutes, I'm in agony. I just don't show it. But yeah, that that eye problem was optic neuritis, and another thing that affects it, like this light right here is bright, makes me want to squint my eyes, but it doesn't hurt my eyes. But if I have lights that flicker, that if a camera can notice it flickers, my eyes are feeling it, and I don't know it unless I'm trying to film and I see that the little flickers happening, and I go, oh, that's why my eyes are hurting, because these freaking lights are bad. My eyes can notice that and they hurt. I wonder why certain yellow tinted lights, older fashion style lights, hurt my eyeballs, and it's because they have that flicker in them. They're not consistent light like filming lights are. I mean, this is bright and it's kind of like, it makes me want to squint if I look at it, but it's not like I don't feel my eyes hurting. Like if I look anywhere else, I can keep my eyes all the way open. But if I turn this lamp on, I don't think you can see it. If I turn this lamp on to the side of me, this lamp over here is kind of a yellow tint, and it's a bulb that kind of flickers. So if I'm in the room just with that bulb, I'm trying to write or do anything where I need to focus, it really hurts. Hurts really bad. My eyes get exhausted faster than with like this LED 5500 Kelvin bulb I got, Yeah, it was pretty awful. Always worry about it happening again because I'm not immune from it happening again. But the amount of steroids they gave me, it was painful because they gave me 1 gram for 3 days straight. So 1 gram a day. I didn't understand what 1 gram was, because they're like, oh, we're gonna give you 1 gram. I was like, what is 1 gram? They're like 1,000 milligrams. I'm like imagine taking 1,000 milligrams of Tylenol or 1,000 milligrams of aspirin. I'm just thinking there's so much stuff you don't want to take that much of, but with steroids, the only amount I had ever taken was 25 to 40 milligrams of like prednisone. And so when they said they're gonna give me 1,000 milligrams, I'm like, what is that gonna do to my body? They're like, oh, you should be all right, but you just let us know if anything happens. I wasn't even more pain after taking the steroids than I was before, but my vision came back. That was the only great thing that happened behind it. But one of the things steroids does, it almost sucks out the potassium out of your body somehow. So one of the things you need to do is make sure you're eating, a healthy amount of potassium, because potassium helps you with your joints and your body and stuff like that, and that's why I was hurting so bad. No, nah, I didn't get if I was getting roid rage, it's my body attacking itself, because I was in pain the first day. I was just shivering in my bed, and I was cold, and my dog that I lost once when I got to Texas, she would lay next to my head or my back and look on my face because I was in so much pain. But yeah, no, I didn't get roid rage. I've never actually seen somebody do that, but I've heard of it. But I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here. Probably catch up on some shows or something. Make me some coffee, because the coffee I made today, I didn't drink all of it, and I'm probably gonna make a Keurig coffee at that. But to anybody that's watching, Tammy, if you're still there, thanks for stopping by. And anybody else, thank you for stopping by. No lid, if you decide to pop back in for a minute, thanks for stopping by. Or if you look at the rest of this later at another time, thanks for stopping by. To anybody who's watching, thank you for stopping by and watching my live. I really appreciate it. It's really hard to get these things going. I'll probably do a tutorial on how I'm doing it versus all the other people who are just got these massive setups, because I don't have a massive setup, but I'm still making it happen. So I will do a tutorial on it, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.